The Wild Life of Anne Baxter, Sensual Egyptian Princess Nefretiri. Anne Baxter was an iconic Hollywood actress with a career that spanned over 5 decades. From her Academy Award-winning performance in The Razor's Edge to her unforgettable portrayal of Eve Harrington in All About Eve, she captured the hearts of audiences around the world. But beyond the glamour of the silver screen, Baxter's life also had dark colors and a tragic ending that shocked many of her fans. Today, we delve into the untold story of this legendary actress and explore the highs and lows of her life, leading up to her sad and unexpected end. Anne Baxter's journey to becoming a Hollywood star began in Michigan City, Indiana, where she was born on May 7, 1923. Her parents, Catherine and Kenneth, were supportive of her early interests in theater and enrolled her in the prestigious Brearley School in New York. It was there that she first saw the legendary actress Helen Hayes perform and decided that she wanted to pursue an acting career. To prepare for her future in the theater, Anne's parents enrolled her in the Theodora Irvine School of Theater, where she honed her skills for 2 years beginning in 1934. During this time, she also received acting lessons from a Russian Broadway actress named Maria Ospenskaya, who was known for her dedication to the method acting technique. Through her studies and hard work, Anne developed a passion and talent for acting that would eventually lead her to Hollywood. Her mother's family, the famous architects Frank Lloyd Wright, may have instilled in her a love for art and creativity, but it was Anne's own dedication and determination that set her on the path to stardom. In 1936, she made her Broadway debut in a play called Seen But Not Heard, but was ultimately rejected for future roles due to her young age. Despite this setback, Anne didn't let it discourage her from pursuing her dream. She returned home to New York and spent the next 2 years working in summer stock theater, gaining valuable experience and honing her craft. By 1938, Anne had matured as an actress and returned to Broadway, where she appeared in productions of There's Always a Breeze and Madame Capet. In 1939, at the age of 16, Anne took a screen test for a role in Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca, but was ultimately deemed too young for the part. Undeterred, she continued to work hard and was eventually offered a 7-year contract with 20th Century Fox. Anne's movie career began in 1940, when she was loaned out to MGM to appear in a western called 20 Mule Team. She went on to appear in several supporting roles in 20th Century Fox's B movies, including Charlie's Aunt in 1941 and The Pied Piper in 1942. It was in 1942, while on loan to RKO, that Anne appeared in her first major movie role in Orson Welles' The Magnificent Ambersons. This would be the first of many classic movies that Anne would go on to star in, including her unforgettable role in All About Eve. Anne Baxter's career was starting to take off, but her home studio, 20th Century Fox, seemed unsure of how to utilize her talents. Despite this, she continued to work on loan for other studios, such as Paramount and RKO, where she began to receive more significant roles. In 1943, she starred in Billy Wilder's 5 Graves to Cairo for Paramount, replacing the famous Ingrid Bergman. Later that year, she played an ingenue in The North Star for RKO. Returning to Fox, Anne was given more starring roles, including the war film Crash Dive in 1943 and The Fighting Sullivans in 1944 alongside Thomas Mitchell. She quickly established herself as a reliable and professional actress, known for her quality performances. Her talent was recognized when she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in The Razor's Edge in 1946. Anne's career continued to flourish, and she was cast in more substantial movies, such as the drama Smokey and the comedy Angel on My Shoulder in 1946. In 1948, she starred alongside Gregory Peck and Richard Widmark in the western Yellow Sky. Despite her success, Anne remained humble and dedicated to her craft, always striving to improve her performances. In 1950, Anne Baxter secured the role that would come to define her career, that of the cunning and manipulative Eve Harrington in the film All About Eve. The movie, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, was widely praised by audiences and critics alike, and is still considered one of the greatest films ever made. One of the reasons for its success was the outstanding performances by the film's 2 leading ladies, Bette Davis and Ann Baxter. Both actresses were nominated for Best Actress at the Academy Awards, but their votes were split, resulting in neither winning the award. Instead, the Oscar for Best Actress went to Judy Holliday for her performance in Born Yesterday. Interestingly, 20th Century Fox had originally wanted Ann Baxter to be nominated in the Best Supporting Actress category, but she declined and left the studio shortly after the awards ceremony. Ann's fame after her success in All About Eve did not guarantee that her career would continue to flourish. As a freelance actress, she received many offers, but her movie roles for the next few years were disappointing. Movies such as Follow the Sun in 1951 and Full House and My Wife's Best Friend in 1952 failed to meet expectations. In 1953, Ann was a last-minute replacement for Anna Bjork in Alfred Hitchcock's I Confessed, and although Ann's acting received critical praise, the film is not considered a Hitchcock classic. Later that same year, Ann's performance in the film noir The Blue Gardenia was well received, but her movies over the next few years, such as Carnival Story in 1954 and One Desire and The Spoilers in 1955, were disappointing box office failures. Ann's career experienced a resurgence in 1956 when she was cast as the sensual Egyptian princess Nefretiri in Cecil B. DeMille's colorful epic The Ten Commandments, alongside Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. Despite receiving warm praise for her performance, this film did not lead to better roles for Ann. During the remainder of the decade, Ann appeared in several average movies, such as Chase a Crooked Shadow in 1958, Season of Passion the following year, and the underwhelming Anthony Mann Western saga Cimarron in 1960. While she continued to receive praise for her acting, she struggled to secure leading roles in significant films. Ann's career never reached the same level of success as it did in the past. Although she continued to make movies over the years, none of them managed to rise above mediocrity. However, Ann found her footing on television, becoming a regular fixture on the small screen starting in the late 1950s. She appeared in shows such as 77 Sunset Strip in 1958 and Wagon Train in 1959. Ann also acted in several episodes of the drama series General Electric Theater, and reunited with Alfred Hitchcock in 1963 for the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. She even made appearances on the popular Batman series of the mid-1960s. Despite her success on television, Ann did not abandon the stage. In the 1970s, she returned to Broadway for Applause, the musical adaptation of All About Eve. She succeeded Lauren Bacall in the Bette Davis role of Margot Channing. In 1974, Ann co-starred with Hume Cronyn and Jessica Tandy in Noel Coward and Two Keys on Broadway. Ann's television career continued to flourish during the 1970s and 1980s, and she made well-received appearances on shows such as Marcus Welby MD, East of Eden, and The Love Boat. She concluded her career by taking over the role of ailing Bette Davis in the television series Hotel in 1983. Ann's personal life was marked by 3 marriages. Her first husband was John Hodiak, an actor she met while filming Sunday Dinner for a Soldier in 1944. They married in 1946 and had a daughter before divorcing in 1953. Ann's second marriage was to Rudolph Galt, an Australian rancher whom she met while filming Summer of the 17th Doll in Sydney in 1959. Ann made the bold decision to leave America and live with Galt at his cattle station north of Sydney. The couple had 2 daughters and moved together to New Mexico, Hawaii, and eventually settled in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, they divorced in 1969 after Ann cited extreme cruelty. Ann's third marriage was to David Klee, a stockbroker, in 1977. However, the marriage was short-lived as Klee passed away suddenly only 9 months later. Ann never remarried and continued to live in the property she and Klee had purchased in Easton, Connecticut. In 1976, Ann published her autobiography, Intermission: A True Story, which detailed her life and career in Hollywood. She also gave her final movie performance in 1984 in The Masks of Death, a Sherlock Holmes mystery TV film. Tragically, Ann Baxter passed away on December 12, 1985 in Guilford, New York, at the age of 62. She had experienced a stroke 8 days prior while in Madison Avenue, New York, and was unable to regain consciousness. Her loved ones decided to have her body cremated, and her ashes were interred in the family cemetery located on the Frank Lloyd Wright estate in Wisconsin. Anne's legacy continues to inspire and influence many in the entertainment industry to this day. Goodbye, Anne Baxter.